Hey everybody, for the podcast here in Indianapolis, it's Big Ten Media Days. Lucky enough to get a little bit of time with the Commissioner, Kevin Warren. I'm Austin Ward. It's great to be back into football mode. And for me, Commissioner, I'll just to be honest, that last year I was a little bit critical of the league. It felt like you were sitting back and evaluating. That was sort of the discussion at this time. I'm saying today, a much more aggressive posture for this league. Do you sense that? Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I mean, that's a fair criticism. But one of the things that Austin, I'm glad you raised that, and I appreciate our relationship, is, this when we were doing our planning.
Yeah.
And I wish last year a lot of the things that we're doing now that we could have talked about, but we had a lot of stuff to plan. And I just felt from the first day that I came into the conference, one, we knew we'd have to work on our media deals, but two, also just looking for strategic opportunities from an expansion standpoint. So it really is good to be where we are. I love our conference. I love our coaches, our student athletes, and our fans, and it's exciting. This is my nature, to be very aggressive, and I think you'll see this over the next couple of years.
If maybe that's a case where just a year ago you weren't able to take that posture, be that aggressive, be as bold, show the strength that you talked about a lot during your main address. Is there also something to it that now you're another year into the position, it's different comfort and a different situation?
Yeah, that's part of it, but I think a lot of it is, you figure 70 days into it, not making excuses, but being factual, we were dealing with COVID.
Right.
So I had a 2-year period of trying to just make sure we were doing the right things, and anytime you're in a storm, you have to make sure you keep powder dry and be conservative in your actions, but in your planning, you can be bold. And so we were really aggressive in our planning, and then now once the storm was lifted, we were able to roll everything out.
How are you able to keep all of that so secretive? It came out of nowhere. It's a wake up one morning, they're here.
I mean, I think that's the thing of it is that people recognize that was important to do. One, just from a respectability standpoint. So I just think it shows the alignment of the Big Ten Conference to have people working on it, and for that not to leak was really special.
So I know that as you're still planning and evaluating for any potential next steps, there's not a lot we can talk about specifics, but the question that is in my mind is, if the broadcast deal has a looming deadline, how would that impact any possibility of potential expansion? There would have to be similar tracks in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, one good thing about the way we've structured our term sheets and our broadcast deals, even from 2 years ago as we started the process, we built in expansion kind of language, nothing specific, but if it happened, we had planned for it. So we want to finish this round of broadcast deals here pretty quickly. And then if it happens, then we have it already built into the equation. So I'm excited about it.
I know I can't trick you. What's the right number of teams for a conference?
You know what? And I say it honestly. You want to make sure that it's manageable, so I think it'll become apparent. I want to really focus. It's one thing to get teams to commit, schools to commit to come. It's another thing to make sure you welcome them in a really high-class, elegant fashion. And so I want to spend some time on making sure we get it right with USC and UCLA, and then we'll have better clarity.
Yeah, I'm sure you have plenty of people asking for an invitation at this point to get in. But that move has been made. Another season on the way for you as commissioner. It seems like the Big Ten is in good shape, and certainly impressed with the way things have progressed early in your tenure.
I'm looking forward to come seeing you all play at home, and I really appreciate everything you do, because you're always fair, and you're tough when you need to be tough. And I appreciate that.
Well, when it's going right, we'll point that out as well.
Right.
So that's the Commissioner, Kevin Warren. We really appreciate his time. Great to be back at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis for Big Ten Media Days. He is Kevin Warren. I am Austin Ward. Thanks for joining us.